Hello, today we're checking out a video. I don't know why I said it like that. We're checking out a video by IGN, what to expect from PlayStation in 2026. And honestly, my expectations from Sony are already on the floor. So let's see if they can at least go up a step in my esteem.
2025 was somewhat of a quiet year for PlayStation. Yes,
yeah, it felt like buying a PS5 was a scam, honestly.
we got the Game of the Year nominated Death Stranding 2 on the beach, and Sucker Punch's exciting sequel to
Ghost of Antifa, how much is it already? I think 3 million copies, which is 20% less. You know, I was so excited when I heard that Ghost of Tsushima was getting a sequel, but then when I found out the budget was small, I was like, okay, interesting. Normally when a game does well, we increase the budget, right? And then you see that they decided to change timelines, and then change time periods, and then they also tried to change they didn't try, they succeeded. They changed the protagonist. It started leaving a weird little taste in my mouth, and then with all the controversy that happened, I am really not interested. And I'm just like, honestly, Sony, y'all gotta do better.
Ghost of Tsushima, Ghost of Yotei. But aside from that, there wasn't really a lot of activity from Sony's first-party studios. Instead, you had to look to developers outside of Sony's stables, who thankfully kept the PS5 ticking over with an array of interesting games.
Honestly, I should be thanking Sony, because if it wasn't for Sony being such garbage at their job, which is exclusives, right? That's why you buy a PlayStation. You buy a PlayStation for the exclusives. I never would have gone as hard on Steam, on PC. So thank you, Sony.
Back end of 2024, Infold launched the console exclusive Infinity Nikki, and has been delighting stylists around the globe over the past 12 months. And smaller projects such as Sword of the
6-hour game at most, and automatically free on the PlayStation premium subscription. And here's the thing, Sword of the Sea, beautiful game, great soundtrack. This is not what I'm buying a PS5 for. I can play this just fine on my PC, and I can play it for half the price also. And I can have better resolution, better frame rate, because it's on PC. Like, nobody buys a PS5 for these kind of games. I don't know why they're investing so much money in these kind of games.
Sea, Dispatch, and Baby Steps have all been enjoyed.
I will never play Baby Steps
On PlayStation 5. Of course, the fact that there weren't many console exclusives didn't mean there weren't a whole host of great games to play on our PS5s last year.
Which you could play on any other platform as well, because the one thing that kept Sony or PlayStation different from PC and Microsoft was exclusivity, and then in 2025 we didn't get shit.
Quite the opposite, in fact. Award sweeper Claire Obscura Expedition 33, the long-awaited Hollow Knight Silksong, and acclaimed RPG Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 led the third-party offerings. Plus, 2025 really was the year of Xbox going fully multi-platform with its library, as Forza Horizon 5, Gears of War Reloaded, and The Outer Worlds 2
Do I have it up there in the corner? I'll leave it up in the corner.
Way to PlayStation. And that's showing no signs of slowing down in the coming year either. With
What's to come?
Master Chief set to grace a Sony console for the first time.
Give them hell, Chief.
The truth is,
I do feel that with Halo going on to the PlayStation, I think we're gonna get one more Xbox console. I think we're getting one more, and then that's it. No more after that.
Sony has just been pretty quiet when it comes to exclusives of its own, with little new to shout about from a hardware perspective either. And that's before we even get into the problems.
Marathon. Again, stop it with the dumb live service bull, because it's not working out.
Now a PlayStation studio, remember, has faced with Marathon. So are things looking more exciting in 2026? Well, Marathon will certainly be hoping so, as it aims to combat PlayStation's recent live service travails. Let's dig into it, as well as everything else.
But I heard recently that they want some dude at Sony, like high executive in Sony America, wanted to double down on live service, but I could be wrong about that.
To expect from Sony this year.
That's always waiting.
First party exclusives. You know, the thing about Wolverine is that I want to be excited, but Spider-Man 2, man, it really put a bad taste in my mouth. Insomniac, when you find out that they cut out 70% of Venom. 70% of Venom's role in the game was cut out so that they cut out MJ. And also, I don't know if they're going to show it over here. there's a scene where you see Mystique take down a guard. That looks like a finisher, okay? It looks like a finisher, not a cinematic.
Just not for me.
Heading into 2026, all eyes are on Logan, as in
Which means another playable character, which means more resources diverted from Wolverine to Mystique.
Insomniac aims to bolster its long winning streak of Ratchet & Clank Spider-Man games by taking on another comic book hero. Marvel's Wolverine is currently
This right here, this attack, this one right here,
penciled in for a
That-
late 2026
that looked like a finisher.
launch, although we'll have to see if those plans change at all due to a certain Rockstar game moving to a similar time frame. Whenever it does release though, we look to be in for a treat, if our first look at gameplay during September's State of Play is any indication. While much is still yet to be revealed about its story, we're eager to learn more and see just who else from the X-Men and the wider Marvel Universe will be popping into Logan's world. Mystique and Omega Red have already been confirmed, but surely Sabretooth is a must, as well as a cameo at the very least from either of Insomniac's Spideys, Peter Parker or Miles Morales. Which of the X?
I don't think we're going to see any of the Spider-Man in a Wolverine game because Wolverine is a rated M game and they definitely want to keep Spider-Man as family friendly as possible, which is why we're probably not going to be seeing any of the Spider-Man in this game. We might see a Venom or some type of symbiote, like a Carnage situation type thing, if you have to grab someone from the Spider-Man universe. But seeing like Peter or Miles, it's a bit, you're asking for a bit much there.
And do you want to see most? As for PS5 exclusives that actually have release dates confirmed, there's only Saros, Neo 3 and
Saros I am down for. And is Neo 3 a PS5 exclusive?
Phantom Blade Zero.
So no, not a PS5 exclusive. It will be available on Steam February 5th. Okay. Cool. And Phantom Blade Zero. Also not an exclusive. Comes out September 8th.
The former is Housemarque's follow-up to the acclaimed Returnal, and looks to be sitting in a similar mould of colourful, particle-filled, challenging shooter within an alien planet shell. Now arriving on April...
Saros I actually am excited for, because I did enjoy the gunplay of Returnal. I simply did not enjoy the upgrade path in Returnal. I found it very annoying. It did not vibe with me, but Saros does look quite good.
30th, after a slight delay, it will take players on an expedition to a lost colony as we step into the shoes of Raoul Coley's Argent Devraj and kill and die our way to uncovering its mysteries through its repeating roguelike structure. Neo 3 is a console exclusive for PlayStation, as it's also arriving on PC when it launches on February 6th. A chronological sequel to the events of the series' first game, Team Ninja is back with a fresh dose of its own brand of punishing.
I don't know if y'all played the demo, but honestly, Neo 3, I really wanted them to go further down into the yokai powers, because in Neo 2 you have yokai abilities. I really wanted to see them go dig deeper into that, but them going with a different branch and deciding to give the player to the ability to switch between being a full-on samurai or a stealthy ninja, and you can just do it on the fly. Like you could like finish a combo, and then as soon as you're done that combo, if you're a samurai, you can then turn into a ninja. And I believe in the demo there was a skill that if you transform as you're being attacked, like you do like a teleportation skill, you end up behind the enemy. So it seems like I can't even say the game is more interactive because the first two games were fantastic. But you know what? I'm just looking forward to Neo 3. Period. I played the demo. It's fantastic. I think they're going to have another demo soon. But I'm very excited for Neo 3.
Like action in feudal Japan. Things are being shaken up this time though, thanks to the introduction of a ninja playstyle, which promises to control completely differently from the traditional samurai option. Trust a studio called Team Ninja, which is also responsible for the Ninja Gaiden series, to want to add ninjas to Neo. That's enough ninjas for one sentence, I think. Phantom Blade Zero is a hotly anticipated wuxia action RPG coming from Chinese developer S-Game. The lead character is called Soul, so you can probably guess what genre this project also borrows heavily from too.
Before you all start panicking, I would not consider this a Souls-like. You do not have a stamina bar, for one. I'm sorry, guys. I'm having a bit of a hard time here. So you do not have a stamina bar, for one. You have a posture bar, I believe, and you can keep attacking even though that meter is done. You don't necessarily have you don't have that stamina bar like in Souls game. I would say it's closer to Sekiro, which is a From Software game, but it's not like Dark Souls or Elden Ring or Bloodborne. You know, like there's a certain set of weapons you can find, there's a certain set of skills that you can find, and at the end of it all, the vibe that I'm getting, a max level character for everyone is pretty much gonna look the same, you know? Okay, can you stop? Thank you. Okay, down.
I can confirm this myself after briefly going hands-on with it at Gamescom 2025, and I found that there is indeed plenty of punishing combat with a complex skill set to master. Yeah. But there are
punishing combat does not mean Souls-like, and I would like for people to start making the differentiation.
Other action game influences too, so the combat tempo is much higher than in your typical Souls-like. Up for some punishment? Well, you'll have to hold on a little longer yet, as Phantom Blade Zero will be
quick time event. It is a legit quick time event. How can you call this a Souls-like when there's a quick time event in the game? There's perfect dodges, perfect parries, perfect blocks. Like, no, this is not a
released on
Souls-like.
9th. Now onto the stuff we're led to believe will be coming in 2026, we just don't know when yet. First up is Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls, the new superhero fighting game from Guilty Gear developer Arc System Works. A uniquely stylized interpretation.
You know, this is the kind of game that makes me wish I was good at fighting games, because I'm looking at it and so far it looks fantastic. It looks amazing. I mean, just look at all of the little Easter eggs. You know, you got 42nd Street, you got the Fantastic Four building, you got the Avengers Tower behind that. You know, all just a bunch of beautiful artwork, and that's just like behind. And if they're just taking like that much time and effort on the stages, I can't wait to see how much effort they're going to be putting in the characters and making them all really diverse from one another.
Of the Marvel Universe, it looks set to be a real contender in the fighting game community, if its recent closed betas are anything to go by. Freshly revealed at the Game Awards, 4Loop is a new co-op shooter from Left 4 Dead creator Mike Booth and
I didn't see this one.
Games, the video game wing of film director J.J. Abrams' production company. A PS5 and PC exclusive, it seems to infuse some roguelike elements with a sprinkling of Helldivers and Left 4 Dead. No release date has been given yet, but
seems interesting.
Will start soon. Then we have Marathon, the new extraction.
Moving on.
Shooter from Destiny developer Bungie, which was initially meant to arrive in 2020.
My mom always told me if I ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing.
But had a rough year to say the least. Delayed into this year and now coming out in March, the studio will be hoping for a big comeback story this year and buck the trend of recently failed Sony live service shooter offerings such as Concord. Instead, it'll be looking to the likes of the wildly successful Arc Raiders and PlayStation's very own Helldivers 2 for a template to follow. Shooter pedigree doesn't come much stronger than Bungie though, so let's hope it can turn around those initial impressions.
The dream is not over.
Speaking of live service shooters,
another live service
reportedly still in development at Haven Studios, despite the departure of its founder Jade Raymond.
Has there been any gameplay reveal for this game? Because I feel like I've been hearing about this forever. I haven't actually seen any gameplay.
In May of 2025, and even more recently, the game's creative director Daniel Drapeau leaving in September. With still no gameplay to be seen and no sign of a release.
Okay, yeah, straight up, there's no gameplay. It's been so... God, I really hope they get off the live service juice soon.
Heist shooter, serious questions now have to be raised about whether it will ever see the light of day. Laser swords, more your cup of tea?
Oh yeah, Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet. Y'all know that Sony's demanding a demo for this game because they've missed a bunch of deadlines. This game is supposed to come out next year. And we're supposed to believe that it's going to be ready and good. How about that? How about that?
Well, Intergalactic the Heretic Prophet may be the one for you. We're very much dreaming if we think this is coming any earlier than 2027, but hopefully we get a good look at gameplay from Naughty Dog's new sci-fi game over the next 12 months.
You know, honestly, like, I've really lost faith in American studios like Sucker Punch, Insomniac, and Naughty Dog after Last of Us 2. And I don't see them course correcting at this point. I think that I'm assuming that probably a lot of the original members from Naughty Dog, from Insomniac, from Sucker Punch Productions, I'm assuming a lot of the original staff is gone, have been replaced by other people. And I just don't think that we're going to see a course correction with these studios unless Sony intervenes and start making demands.
Expectations are naturally high from one of
Sanction them.
Sony's most beloved developers, though, with creator Neil Druckmann calling it the
He's gotta love playing as a bald
most ambitious game
woman
they've ever made. But what about all of those other PlayStation studios cooking up exclusives? Well, Guerrilla may not be.
You just gotta love it when they uglify the protagonist, yeah. And y'all, before anyone says like, "Oh, all you guys care is about hot women," man, you guys are sexualizing women. It's an unrealistic body, man. Look at this. Does anything... Wait, let me move my face. Does anything about this man look realistic? He's literally 7 feet tall, probably like 300 kilos. Okay? So, the difference is that I enjoy playing as a souped up version of a man. And I think it's fantastic. I don't want to play as a weak, anemic, allergy filled loser. Okay, I want to play as a deity, as a god, as someone powerful. And like, y'all just need to stop complaining about them making women attractive in video games because one, that makes games sell.
Be developing the recently revealed mobile MMORPG Horizon Still Frontiers itself, but has been recruiting for its own multiplayer entry into Aloy's universe. Could we see that in 2026? What about Santa Monica's next project? Is it finally time to see what Cory Barlog's mystery game is? If a new god
I am hoping that they're gonna reveal something in 2026.
war isn't imminent? All good questions, none of which I have the answers for.
What's your name?
Jason Duval.
I think you heard before.
You might have.
Ooh, third party. Now we're getting into it.
Games,
GTA?
Another opportunity for me to say how excited I am for GTA 6. Surely after its most recent...
I've never been a GTA fan. And even I'm excited for GTA 6. This game looks amazing. Probably not going to play it, to be completely honest. But it looks amazing.
Later November, 2026 is the year we finally
look at that ass
on the latest Grand Theft Auto. Please, Rockstar, don't do it to us again. Outlaws is a bunch of games gain though, with spring opening up wide for a fair
007?
that GTA-shaped void. These include Capcom's latest entry into its legendary horror series Resident Evil Requiem, and IO Interactive's first non-Hitman project in a long time, James Bond adventure 007 First Light. Plus, Pearl Abyss's expansive...
Bro, this game, Crimson Desert, I've seen so much gameplay and I've heard creators talk about it, and I'm doing everything I can to not get excited because it looks amazing. It looks scrumdiddlyumptious, and I don't want to hype myself up just to get sad. But it looks amazing.
Open world action of Crimson Desert will be...
I mean, you can fly a freaking dragon as a mount.
Well, Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight is looking to pick up where Rocksteady's Arkham trilogy left off and infuse its satisfying melee combat with that indelible minifig charm when it launches on May 29th.
Wait, are we getting a Lego Batman with flow, like not flow motion, but free motion combat? Is that what they're saying?
but so much of 2026 remains uncertain, likely largely due to GTA shifting around more than James Brown did on stage.
Okay, random James Brown clip.
Let's start with some multi-platform games we are pretty confident are coming this year.
Onimusha.
Before moving on to ones that will likely remain rooted in our dreams. Yes, Master
Assassin's
Chief
Creed
will soon be controlled by a DualSense. Halo Campaign Evolved is heading to the PS5 in 2026, as Microsoft continues to unleash its library onto other platforms.
Which honestly feels kind of wrong to play Halo on PlayStation, but it's just another sign that Microsoft is losing interest in making consoles, because they did say that everyone already has an Xbox. Every screen you have in your home is technically an Xbox. So if everyone already has an Xbox, there's no real need to make an Xbox.
This Unreal 5 engine remake of the 2001 Xbox Classic could prove the spectre at the feast for Bungie, the original developers of Halo Combat Evolved, if its own marathon launch doesn't go as planned. At least it won't be competing in the multiplayer market, as this new edition of Halo only includes the story campaign. Marvel 1943 Rise of Hydra recently shifted out of its original window of early 2026.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about this, man. We saw one trailer and nothing else. To be honest, the trailer looked amazing, and there are a couple of parts of the trailer that look like gameplay, and that also looks really, really good. And if it looks anywhere near as decent as this, very nice. What I'm worried about is, are we gonna be... I should probably move my... God damn it, I forgot to move it back. I'm sorry, guys. What I'm wondering is that, are we going to get a movie game, or are we going to get a game with good cinematics, you know? I don't want my action games or my action adventure games or whatever you want to call them to be like 60% cinematics and then the rest is gameplay.
6 to beyond early 2026. So your guess is as good as mine as to when we'll be playing Amy Hennig's Captain America and Black Panther in World War II story. Legendary PlayStation hero Lara Croft will be returning in a reimagining of her original game.
They made her hot again. Thank you.
Titled Tomb Raider.
The Tomb Raider series, bro, making that woman look like... Anyways, they made her... They didn't do her justice, and it made me real sad.
Legacy of Atlantis. And Finnish developer Remedy is back with another entry in its connected universe, Control Red.
Yeah, I saw this the other day. I'll be honest, I didn't like Control, and however, I didn't think it was a good game. I thought it was a good game. It's just it wasn't for me. It just was not the game for me. And the fact that they're now dipping their toes in a hack and slash genre, you guys have my attention.
Also announced at the Game Awards was the pleasantly surprising Star Wars Galactic Racer from the makers of Burnout and Need for Speed that is scheduled to drop sometime in 2026.
Now this is pod racing.
Capcom is also set for a big year outside
Onimusha?
of Evil, with Onimusha Way of the Sword and Pragmata both set to hit.
Now, Onimusha is supposed to be more of a Sekiro-like, not a Souls-like, so relax. And Pragmata, I was planning on skipping this game, but the more I see, the more gameplay I see, the more it begins to pique my interest.
Hit. As was the way in 2025, 2026 also looks set to keep you happy if you're a fan of katanas and unnerving robots. As it will for vampire fans too, with the Blood of Dawnwalker looking really
I don't know about this one. I don't know about this one because I was watching some gameplay and it looked real jank. I mean, it was obviously not up-to-date gameplay. My worry about this game is that they want to make this massive game and other areas in the game are going to suffer for how massive it is. That's what I'm worried about, but I am still very interested in at least learning more about Vampire the Masquerade. It's not Vampire the Masquerade. What's it called again? Oh my god, I'm bad at this.
Thanks to a non-linear narrative and sandbox-like structure, crafted by a team led by former Witcher 3 devs. Then there's Mixtape, a game I have added to this list as one of my personally most anticipated of 2026. The sophomore project from the Artful Escape studio Beethoven and Dinosaur, this 80s-inspired coming-of-age adventure is definitely one to keep on your radar.
I mean, I'm not going to be playing this because it's like, you know, like I play my genre is action games, right? However, I will say, art style, 10 out of 10.
Is 2026 finally the year we get to play a new Ken Levine game? The Bioshock
Ken
creator
Levine
hasn't given us one since 2013's Infinite, and Judas has been in development for a long time now. Let's hope this is the year, because it's something I need in my life. As is The Witcher 4, but even I'm not foolish enough to believe that CD
Yeah, Witcher 4, I'm pretty sure is coming out in 2027.
Project Red's Siri-led RPG is coming anytime soon. But feel free to surprise me, I'd love that.
I haven't played any of the Witchers.
We're not necessarily expecting any big hardware splashes this year, with the next console generations theoretically not due until late 2027 at the earliest. Sony tech wizard and, most importantly, creator of Knack, Mark Cerny, did recently discuss new graphics capabilities in a discussion with AMD, which sparked PlayStation 6 speculation into overdrive, but it's still likely a couple of years away at least.
Results are quite promising, and I'm really excited about bringing them to a future console in a few years' time.
Rumors are, but it's still likely a couple of years away at least.
Results are quite promising, and I'm really excited about bringing them to a future console in a few years' time.
Rumours are also abound of a new PlayStation handheld, after suggestions were made over the past summer that Sony could even be following Nintendo's blueprint for the Switch and turning the PS.
Yeah, I would love to see a new Sony handheld like the Switch, where I don't have to have PS Vita 2 games and PlayStation games, you know? Because Soul Sacrifice Delta, this game is trapped on the PSP, and it pisses me off. And it just stuck there in limbo, and I can't play it, and I've tried to emulate it, and it did not work out for me. And it's really upsetting, because I think it's a fantastic game, and it's stuck on the PS Vita, just lost to everyone. So please, Sony, do something about it.
PS6 into a hybrid home and portable console. Of course, this is all just wild speculation, but with powerful hardware only reducing in size and cloud capabilities ever growing, it doesn't feel like too much of a stretch to imagine. As I said though, we're still quite a way off hearing anything concrete in regards to the future of PlayStation hardware. And that's everything we know, along with a few guesses thrown in about what to expect from PlayStation in 2026. What games are you most excited for this year? Let us know in the comments below.
Alrighty, alright. Well, you know what, Sony? You guys lost my. I'm gonna like the video, guys. Like I'm reacting to it. You know, I don't like IGN particularly, but I do appreciate what they do. So, personally, Sony lost my trust in 2025 and 2024. Like those 2 years were really kind of it for me. I was like, all right, I'm done. I'm done with PlayStation. It will no longer be my main platform for gaming. I'll still play PlayStation because I've got friends that I want to play with, but it will no longer be my main source of gaming. And I honestly hope that they can do something to regain my trust in 2026, but I highly doubt it. That's going to be it for me today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. While you're down there, don't forget to like, share, favorite, and subscribe, because it puts a smile on my face. We're trying to hit 500 before the end of the year. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.